On the video. There's the video for everybody in the internet world. Also, let us know in internet land if you can hear us. I know we've had some audio confusion in the past, so we want to make sure everybody hears what's going on here at Southside Garage. We've got a... Wow, we've got a live stream situation going on over here. Mary Beth is awesome enough to put all the links up as the meeting happens. So my agenda, the first thing on it says it's September 2022, and that is incorrect. It is November. Welcome to our November meeting. That will not be the only date wrong in my list, I'm sure. I'm known for having bad dates on a number of things. But just some real quick housekeeping notes. Mateo and Dave have pizza in the back room. He can take cash or charge. I suppose he can take a check too, with an ID. Check with ID is how we're going to work that tonight. Thanks so much to Southside Garage for having us out tonight, and also for Chris over at South Coast Pizza for keeping us fed each month here. Trail reports. Let's go over that quickly. Who's been riding other locations? Anybody ridden out of town recently over the holiday? Anybody? What? Phoenix. How's Phoenix?
Cat litter and giant baby heads. It's all loose.
Okay. All right. Well, there's some joy there for sure. You go back and do that for certain reasons.
I did this running food and headed to ride in Moab when it started snowing.
Goodness, got snowed out early in Moab. Very good. We've had some, I'd say, pretty good conditions around town recently. I was out of town last week, but it seemed like decent temperatures came, and it looks like they're going to go again after potentially Tuesday night's weather. But that's why we rely on Dave's trail report that happens each morning. Thanks, Dave, for going out and inspecting all the 80 miles and doing a little moisture test on all these trails. And for everybody, Dave makes a judgment call each morning. Don't beat him up on these things. I mean, you can do it on the internet because he's not on the internet. But generally speaking, he's like a duck. Those comments just like they wash right off of him, and he is looking out for the best interest of our trails. And so that's what's important about it. And we're the advocates for these trails, and you guys are the folks that keep them in the shape that they're in. And so we want to keep them in that great shape. We have wet weather riding locations. We got a hat this year that talks about them. Sharps is good basically every day of the year. There has been a couple of days when Sharps has been pretty miserable, but those are few and far between, and usually have to do with a freeze-thaw cycle and a bit of snow on the ground. So,
Lincoln, by the Woodbridge, close to the towers on the backside. There was a mudslide not long ago.
Okay.
So we got the people there. So
Awesome. Very good. Getting some help from City of Knoxville over on Lincoln. Appreciate that. Let's see here. We've got weather report coming up next. Dave, live from here, right? Live from here. Sorry, Granddaddy. No Lyle tonight.
Well, guys, I'm going to be honest. I was gone for the last week and a half, so I don't know. I hear it was cold, and then I got back and it's warm, and I hear it's about to get cold again, and then I assume it'll get warm again, and then it was wet, and now it is dry. And I assume it'll get wet again and then dry out once more.
Wow, this insight.
That's all I've got.
Okay. Well, Dave's weather report might be lacking this evening. It's a forecast, Dave. Come on. Goodness. All right. We're going to work on a 1 star. Okay. So we have had stand-in weather before from Russ. Russ, do you have an update on the weather? Come on, Russ.
And it's going to dry out. It's rain.
All right, it's going to rain and it's going to dry out and it's going to get wet.
Oh my God, I hate it.
Okay. Great. Thanks, everybody, for that weather update. Okay. So, trail reports are the updates from AMBC side. The Dial Dirt crew has wrapped up their work over on Floyd Fox, and so that's complete. Hopefully, everybody's enjoyed the new either climb or descent. So that got buffed out this year, which is great. We'll be noticing a couple of new trails coming online at Icy King this winter. Randy Connor's currently working over there right now, digging in the woods. I know that David Mateo have been helping him do some hand finish work out there. We will have a work day to do some hand finish work on a number of those trails this winter. Dave, can you look up and see what month we're doing our Icy King work day? And I'll report back in once we figure that one out. But and then another trail project that's on the horizon is sort of I call it gateway to mountain biking. And this is going to be a project out at Concord that's adjacent to the Greenway, the new North Shore Greenway, right there at the roundabout. And so with funds from the county, Night Ide is going to do a short, sessionable, all-weather line right alongside the Greenway, very similar to what we have down here at Baker Creek. And so we're super excited to have his crew working on that. I'll have a couple of wall rides and some tabletops, just real friendly, easy to approach, rollable features that I could do on a Strider bike.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll try it one day. Dave.
Next month.
Oh, okay.
Oh, next month.
So January is our workday over at Icy King. That's fantastic. So I got a comment just the other day. Actually, Russell brought this up. He had a question about Forks of the River. And just for everybody, a good PSA, just a reminder, it is hunting season right now. Forks of the River is open to hunters. And anytime during the hunting season, they are in their right to be out there hunting, whether it's with, I think they use bows, they use, I'm looking at Brian because he's my hunting expert here, muzzle loaders, anyway, BB guns, whatever they are using in the woods, it's fine. The other thing to know is that the perimeter trails, both Western Perimeter and Whaley Trail, are open to us every day of the year, okay? So as long as conditions are good, you're allowed to use those trails. You may encounter hunters either using the trails because they're a great way through the woods, as we know, or hunting on either side of those trails. It's important to note that we just need to be good neighbors, okay? And so we've been riding and running and walking at Forks of the River for many, many years, and we're lucky to have not had any conflict over there. We want to maintain those good relationships with the users of the park. And so that's just a PSA. Mary Beth's going to shoot a link to the Forks of the River guidelines and put it up on this chat right now. And another PSA is that Baker Creek will be closed due to a race this weekend, okay? So it is it's an enduro as well as a cross-country event. So it's a Saturday, Sunday event. You're going to notice course markings going up as early as Wednesday, from what we understand. So nonetheless, that's a Go Nuts racing series. It's their season finale, and so quite a few folks will be in town for that race. Just be mindful that the course will be closed and fully taped on Saturday and Sunday. So you'll see that out and about if you end up at Baker. We'd prefer you join us for a work day, though, on Saturday, because Saturday from 9 until noon, we'll be working over at Meads Quarry. And so we're going to be working on a number of different projects that the Trail Committee has us planned out, including a little work on Turnbuckle. But nonetheless, join us from 9 to noon over at Meads Quarry. Oh, and during the workday, there will be a women's-led work crew as well. So options for women who want to come out and work as well. Then Next up on the agenda, we've got Giving Tuesday, which is traditionally, it is tomorrow. We've always sort of applied those funds towards different projects in the past few years. This year, I just realized when I was writing up the agenda after we did the marketing material for this that AMBC is turning 16 next year, and it is fitting that we get a car when we turn 16. And I failed to realize that before now. But nonetheless, we obviously have our learner's permit now, right? We've been around, we've shown that we can do this work in the woods. We've got a myriad of trail machines, right? We've got two excavators, a skid steer, and a dumper, and all this stuff, and tool trailers. We've been towing this stuff around with you guys' vehicles for years, and I would really, it is our goal for next year to be able to put Dave and the trail crew, Mateo, in a truck that's proper for the organization. And so this is going to be a major investment that we're making. We're going to be putting all of our Giving Tuesday funds towards that, and that's going to be applied towards, already we've gotten quite a substantial amount of money from the Aslan Foundation through their grant process to go towards this purchase as well. And so, yeah, I think it's whatever you can give tomorrow, feel free to log on. You'll get an email blast in the morning, and it'll be done through a sort of a tertiary website for tomorrow, just because it's sort of a community-wide give. But nonetheless, the link that you follow for us will go towards our tool truck for that we'll use for the hopefully next 16 years, you know? And that's a pretty exciting step for our organization. Next up on the calendar, December 11th. That is a Sunday evening. We want you to join us across the river. Russ is nodding. Brian's he's working out his tennis elbow from Papa Shot. But we're gonna be I'd like to strike the undefeated from the minutes. I don't know if that's true or not. Casey Armstrong might have something to say about that. So we're gonna have a holiday party over at Suttrie's. What's the full title? High Gravity Tavern. Suttrie's. It's on Gay Street. Join us. We'll have some merchandise over there, a limited supply. But have no fear. If you need other AMBC merchandise, socks, all sorts of other stuff. We've got a booth set up at REI. You can feel free to swing by there anytime. And we also have, Mary Beth got our online store updated the other day with help from Mateo's inventory. And so we've been shipping things out the last couple of days for online sales. So get something for your loved ones. I know my mother gets a piece of AMBC gear every year, and she loves it. She might be watching now, and I'm sure she'll appreciate it. I won't ruin the surprise for this year, but we do have some great stuff. Lastly, in news and events, just a recap of the Sorba meeting, which happened right before the Fall Fest. So we were lucky enough to host the Sorba meeting. So that was 40, who knows the number? 43. We're going to call it 43. 43 clubs, just like AMBC, came to Knoxville for 3 days to talk about how they're organized, to learn things from each other, and they happen to enjoy our festival in the mix. And so we want to thank Sorba for coming out. I know they had a commentator, a gentleman come in who works for Trail Forks and did a session on mapping and how that can apply to clubs and how we can utilize that a little bit better. You know, we certainly use a lot of the Trail Forks features now, and we're going to be sort of searching to see if we want to apply any additional features in the future. We also, there was an announcement, our mayor mountain bikes. And so Mayor Kincannon joined us for the lunch part of that meeting. And she was really thrilled to announce that her administration is investing in a position that has been on the payrolls for the city in the past, but that person's moved on in their position. And so Mayor Kincannon announced that Wes Soward, which is a past president, some people may be familiar with him, Wes is now the city of Knoxville urban wilderness coordinator, working under the economic development department. Awesome. So make sure to give Wes a pat on the back. We're thrilled to be working with him in a professional setting from here forward on all things urban wilderness, and love that the mayor chose a person that's got the background that Wes does. So thrilled to be working with him moving forward. Next up is the SORMA meeting is held twice a year. And so for folks that are interested in leadership, the next meeting is going to be in Old Fort, North Carolina. And it's a really cool trail town, incredible access to Pisgah. And they are working on a project right now that is just, I mean, it blows my mind, the connectivity and the partnerships that they're forming there. So that's going to be a spring meeting. If anybody's interested and would like to join us, we'll be heading there. We'll put the dates out at some point, but it's March. But just ping one of us, myself or Aaron or any other board member, and I can get you the right information. So with that, I wanted to go to the recap of Fall Fest. Sorry. Oh, it's in April. Perfect. April is the SORMA meeting. That sounds like a great month to be in Old Fort, North Carolina. The weekend of the 13th. So AMBC will be either renting a campsite or a house in the area, and anybody is welcome to join us. Just let us know. We'll get you into all the SORMA pre-parties, post-parties, all that stuff. We know how to do it. Fall Fest recap. Show of hands, who was at Fall Fest? Everybody. Easy question. Woo! Thank you for being at Fall Fest. It was fantastic. It was our 13th annual Fall Festival. It was awesome. And I just want to say big thanks to the planning committee. I would like for anyone who is on the planning committee to stand up. Sorry, Mary Beth. You have to stand up. Aaron, stand up. Dave Stanley, stand up. Rachel, stand up. Yeah. So there's only come on now, hand. So you can't invite 2,500, 3,000 people to your front yard without having some plans together. And that crew that just half-assed stood up is the reason it happened. And that's the truth. It's the reason it happened. And I want to say big thank you to the planning committee. And next up, the volunteers. And Andrea had an army of volunteers. Everybody who raised their hand was probably also a volunteer. Took over 100 volunteers that everybody, stepped up and did their part to make the festival happen. Next up is Dave and Mateo, staff members. Awesome job, tireless work. And hopefully you got thanked by a number of folks. It shouldn't be thankless, but yeah, you made it happen. Next up, real quick rundown. We don't have a time to really be this quiet at Fall Fest, and it's important to recognize who, help the financial side of Fall Fest actually happen. And so that's Harper Volkswagen and the Harper Automotive Group, Mike Weber over at the dealership is fantastic to keep us in the loop with what else going on over there. Shannon Harper has been a tireless advocate for all types of cycling for years, and we hope to stay in good graces with the Harper Automotive Group. Valerie over at Apex, thanks so much. Apex Window Cleaning, a business that I've worked with quite a few years downtown. They live on the trail near Hasty and use them every day and just understand the value that these trails provide. We were thrilled to have City of Knoxville Parks and Rec on the list this year, and definitely noted they had some equipment out that they help with out on the trails. Drop in, much appreciated your support for the party, for bringing it to the whip off and making that happen. Our good friends over at Sono Taco Cantina. Jeremy Walker, I don't see him tonight, but Jeremy Walker has kept this club alive with alcohol for 16 years. And so not only Jeremy Walker, but the company he stands behind, which is Lippman Brothers, we appreciate your support. TVB and Kona, thanks so much for helping us put on the Under the Lights show, the invitational pump track event. Pretty great time this year. George Middlebrooks with the Side Project is who keeps our graphics and our website and us looking as good as we do, which is pretty damn good for an organization of our size. So George is an awesome sponsor of ours, and at the Sorba meeting, for example, everybody asked, how did you get such a nice website? And I said, well, it's because of folks like George that allow our organization to function at a high level. Visit Knoxville is also on that list. A new sponsor this year, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki of Knoxville. And you might say, why this motorcycle shop? It's because they're getting into the e-bike side of things. And honestly, they wanted to support the trails, and they wanted to just come to Fall Fest and see what it was all about. They understand they have expertise in a different arena, but are certainly interested in cycling and what that means for the community. Knoxville Outdoor Tours, Alex, for helping with setting up guides. Knoxville Brew Tours, helping with shuttles, as well as Windrock Bike Park helping on the shuttle side. So just one quick round of applause for those sponsors. It's sponsors like that make Fall Fest the fee-free event that it is, right? I mean, it's not many events that you can have that good a time and not necessarily have to open your wallet. We certainly thank you for doing that when you go to the beer line or when you buy a new piece of merchandise that Mary Beth has designed. And well, Mary Beth organized. Sorry, George designed it. Yeah, I think that what we have at Fall Fest is a great festival. So. Lastly, we had
when is it next year?
It's the first weekend in November, Mary Beth. First full weekend, we like to say. So we're not starting Fall Fest like
Sunday the 5th.
No. It's 5th?
Oh, I don't know.
What we got? Okay, so we had a bike raffle this year that was pretty awesome. This year we were able to partner up again with Harper's Bike Shop. And they teamed with one of their awesome brands, Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz, this is the second, sort of form of help they've given us this year. You know, they invested with us at the drop-in. So partner with them on the bike was awesome. It was also supported with hubs and from I-9 and also some fresh carbon hoops from Knox Composites. So big thanks to the crew over at Harper's for that investment in our trail network. I got 3 other things on the agenda. It's the first one, checkpoint winners. So Rachel and Dan put, I don't believe it, put together an awesome checkpoint ride this year. We highly encourage folks to do this checkpoint ride. It's a lot of fun to see the list. It changes from year to year where you're going to go ride, what you're going to see. This year we had some gravel options on it. This year we sent you towards Tenasseee for what I consider as a classic downhill down into the Ocoee River. I wanted to announce the winners from that. So. First time ever, we actually have a couple that both randomly generated. Their name came up. So Chris and Lindsay Kimball, you guys are both winners this year. So that's great. I think maybe Chris has won in the past. Laura Wittenberger, you are a winner. Ryan Villalobos, you won this year. Melissa Edmonston, you're a winner. And then we have Jessica Tucker, a winner as well. Now, Jessica is a little bit of a different case. Not only was she lucky, she actually got every checkpoint, it looks like. So I determined that in addition to the prize pack that you will receive, Jessica gets an actual trophy this year. So, trophy for Jessica. It's great to see the photos. I should have been more prepared. If I had known we'd had a screen tonight, I would have flipped through some great photos. we get great selfies and photos from that ride each year, and a lot of great comments about folks exploring places that they don't normally do. Second to last on the agenda, membership status. Philip, the executive director of Sorba, ran a membership booth at Fall Fest, and he knocked it out of the park. I think we had an additional 25 members at Fall Fest, which is fantastic. Our rolls are close to 700 members, which is incredible. I need to ask him what the largest Sorba club is, and then after that question, I need to ask him what the largest IMBA club is, and we'll try to start a friendly competition amongst clubs to see how many members we can end up with. So that's a subtle but not so subtle way of checking your membership. Lastly, I just want to say thanks again to everybody for coming tonight. Does anybody have anything they want to add to the meeting? I know I've got some business to take up with the Concord crew, but if not, I'm going to see everybody on Sunday at the soiree. What you got?
Jay talked about the expansion of the Greenway all the way up to Shoso Road, West Concord. But they also mentioned that the bridge is going to be replaced between Concord, so that'll be 20 miles plus trails.
Okay. So what was mentioned is that Marsh and Jay had a meeting a couple weeks ago about the extension of the North Shore Greenway that we're going to be doing a trail project off of. There's talk about the bridge being expanded, and so that means we're likely going to get the bike lane that we've been asking for years on that connection, which then physically connects all three sections of Concord together, which makes a huge network, right? So that's great news to hear about. I think that our trail crew or our planning committee needs to start talking about original Concord and how we want to tackle that system next. So with that,
Actually,
yep.
Chris at Alliance just told me if you guys go over there after you get $1 off your beers because
All right. Woo, you get $1 off Beers and Alliance if you head down there next. That's awesome. With that, I will see everybody Sunday the 11th. Tell me I got that right. Oh, I will not see you Saturday. Sorry. It's the truth. I won't be there. I will be at home. I'm having shoulder surgery on Friday, so my little broken wing will hopefully get fixed, and I'll be back riding in the spring. But I will see you Sunday. But the crew will see you on Saturday at Imes. Thanks so much for coming. Enjoy your evening. Make sure to pay your tab, and make sure Dave doesn't go home with pizza. Thanks.